What's up, film lovers? 2024 is behind us, and I saw 75 movies. Not that impressive, whatever. I just watch what I think is cool. But I'm going to break down my top 30 films of the year. Number 30 on my list is Juror Number 2, coming to us from director Clint Eastwood, headlined by Nicholas Hoult, with an impressive cast that includes Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, and others. I watched this on Christmas with some family. It had just come out on Max, I think a couple weeks prior. And I was curious about this movie. I've seen several of Clint Eastwood's movies, both as just an actor and a director. And I think he's a solid director. I mean, I'm not a big fan of, I think his directorial debut was Play Misty for me, and I wasn't really into that. But I love High Plains Drifter, nasty Western that one is. I dig Gran Torino, and I like this film, and I'm a big fan of Nicholas Hoult. So I thought this was a damn fine courtroom drama, morality tale, and I gave it 4 out of 5 on my letterbox. Number 29 on my list is from writer-director Josh Margolin, and it is Thelma, starring June Squibb. Headline, it also has Richard Roundtree in his final role. This was a posthumous release. Parker Posey, Clark Gregg, Malcolm McDowell. This is a fun film. I watched it on Hulu with my grandma. I had been looking forward to it. I just hadn't gotten out to the theater to see it. Movie theaters, weird times. So I just waited till it was available. And it's just a fun movie about this grandma who gets screwed out of $10,000, and she's on a mission to get that money back. And, more power to her. I thought it was fun. I thought it was heartfelt. Lots of good performances. I really dig this. I recommend it to anyone who missed it. It's currently, I believe it's on Hulu. That's how I saw it. So, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for Thelma. Thumbs up. Check it out. Number 28 on my list is David Moreau's one-shot horror film, Mads, this French horror film. I watched it on Shudder during October. I didn't know much going into it. I had just saw people starting to score it on Letterboxd. I heard it was a zombie movie. I don't know how. So when I started this, I didn't realize it was one shot because I had another screen going, and my attention gets diverted quite easy. Bad attention span now. I know it sucks as someone who loves movie to have a shit attention span, but I restarted the movie, put the screen down for the most part, and sat down and enjoyed this film. This was really fucking cool. I liked how the character perspective shifted between these actors in the course. It was nice because it's about this, it says teenager here, but I don't know, he looked like he was in his 20s, who goes to pick up some drugs, and he meets this injured woman on his way back home, and then she bites him, and he starts slowly getting infected, and he goes out a party, and the whole, quarantine thing starts to kick in, and military shows up. It's a pretty badass film. It's on Shudder. I should watch more Shudder originals, and just Shudder in general. I'm paying for it. But yeah, Mads, fantastic film, 4 out of 5. At number 27 is Terrifier 3. And I had not seen any of the Terrifier movies until 2 days before I went to go see this one in October. I double watched, I said double featured, Terrifier 1 and 2 in the same night after work, sat down. Luckily, Terrifier 1's like less than 90 minutes, but then Terrifier 2 is like 2.5 hours. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think Terrifier 1 is a good movie, but I think it's a fascinating and cool. I think I liked it. Terrifier 2 far and away the better film. It's my favorite of the 3 movies. A little overblown, but I really dug Terrifier 2. So I actually was hyped to go and see this film, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I love a good Christmas horror movies. I like Art the Clown. I like, what's the actress's name? Lauren Lavara. She is so fucking good in this film. Yeah, Terrifier 3. It's pretty fucking cool. Number 26 is Netflix's Woman of the Hour, the directorial debut of actress Anna Kendrick, who also headlines. It is based on the true story of a serial killer who was on the dating game show Killer. It is a damn fine film. It's interesting to hear that Anna Kendrick had been attached to this to star for a while, but it kept losing directors, so she just stepped up to do it. And I think she did a great job in her debut. I think his name is Daniel Zovada, creepy as fuck as our killer. It didn't play out like I had expected it to. I thought it was going to be purely focused on these two, but it goes into other like vignettes about Rodney's victims. It was a fantastic film. Unfortunately, It's Netflix, so I don't think it got the attention it deserves. I think a lot of good Netflix movies don't get the attention it deserves, and then the ones who do get attention may not deserve it. But yeah, I say go check out Woman Hour if you haven't seen it. Technically, it says 2023 here, but that was festival circuit bullshit. So this is a 2024 movie. Check this one out. Next up, The Bike Riders from director Jeff Nichols, headlined by Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, along with Michael Shannon, Boyd Holbrook, and others. I think this is a damn fine film. It's a biker gang movie, sort of. It's loosely based on a real biker gang. Names changed and stuff like that. Lots of good performances. Very interesting ending. I like the ending. This one, I was very, very engaged. I originally watched it on Peacock. It doesn't seem to be streaming there anymore, but it is on Amazon Prime, plus a bunch of VODs to check out. I really dug this. I really enjoyed it. It was one on my watch list for a while, but it wasn't one of those films I felt like I really needed to go to the theaters to see. But I caught it when it came out, and it's on my list right here, 4 out of 5. I saw The TV Glow, written and directed by Jane Schoenbrunn. This movie stars Justice Smith along with Bridget Lundy Payne, and to my surprise, Fred Durst shows up. This one's people have been debating whether or not this is a horror film. It's definitely a psychological drama. This is Justice Smith's best performance. This one really grew on me. I finished it. I liked it, but I kept thinking about it more and more, and just the visual, the unsettlingness of just what was going on, just an absolutely depressing movie that with very striking imagery. I had seen Jane's previous film, We All Go Into the World's Fair, I believe is what it's called. I thought that one was interesting, but wasn't for me. So I wasn't all that hyped going into this. That's why I didn't go see it in theaters. I just caught it when it hit VOD, and I'm glad I did. I really dug this movie. I saw The TV Glow. I'm very interested to see what Jane Schoenbrunn does next, and I think I'm following her on Twitter now. I'm still calling it Twitter, and I think she has a pretty cool Twitter account. So I almost forgot I Used to Be Funny from director Ali Pankwi. Apologies if I mispronounced that name. I saw this one on Netflix, starring the talented Rachel Sennett, who's great in Shiva Baby, Bottoms, Bodies, Saturday Night. This was a very interesting watch. It was about a stand-up comedian who was working as a babysitter on the side, and she's struggling with PTSD after she was attacked, and then the girl she used to babysit, was a teenager she was looking after, goes missing. This was a pretty heavy film. I really dug it, and yeah, 4 out of 5. Elizabeth Taylor, The Lost Tapes, a very fascinating documentary about the legendary actress Elizabeth Taylor. I'm not the biggest Elizabeth Taylor fan. I've only seen a handful of her movies, but it was on Max. I was hanging out with my grandma. I put it on, and it's interesting because this whole documentary is built on 2 sets of interview tapes. So it's her talking about her career, and that is absolutely fascinating. One of my actually favorite bits about this is she's discussing a movie with the interviewer, and she gets interrupted by Roddy McDowall, who stands up for one of her movies that she hated doing. Her and Roddy McDowall were good friends along with Montgomery Clift. So I thought that little bit interplay in between the two was really fascinating. But it's really cool to listen to her talk about her life and her career. It's not streaming anywhere. I thought it was like a Max original, but yeah, I really dug Elizabeth Taylor, The Lost Tapes. Number 21 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Yeah, I'm actually surprised I liked this as much as I did. It took me a long time to get around to Afterlife, which I quite liked. I think there's some problems with Afterlife, but I enjoyed it more than I did. I think I watched it maybe the same month that I went out and saw Frozen Empire. I just needed to feel like going to the theaters for movies. It wasn't a good movie year for me because there wasn't a lot I really wanted to go see. So I made the excuse. I watched Afterlife, enjoyed it more than I thought, and then saw this one, and I was like, you know what? This is a pretty fucking cool movie. I liked it, and now I have both of them on Blu-ray. So good work, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, and Afterlife. Kicking off our top 20 is Guy Ritchie's The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, headlined by Henry Cavill with Alan Ritchson, a.k.a. Reacher, Henry Golden, Isa Gonzalez, Carrie Elwes, and yeah, others. Look, very basic film. Guys got a job, and that job partially involves killing Nazis. They got to go do some stuff. They got to go rescue a guy. You know, All I care about is watching dudes kill fucking Nazis. And I got that. I had a good time. It was a blast. That's all I got to say about that. Number 19, Dev Patel's directorial debut, Monkey Man. It's a revenge film, and he's out for revenge. I like a good action film. I like a good revenge film, and this is both of them. It looks really good for a directorial debut. It is a beautiful, beautiful movie with some pretty badass fight scenes. I like the geography. I think a lot of action films don't have good geography, like good sets to interact with or locations, so you really get a sense of lived in space. And I think this one has a lot of that. This is very cool. It's some of these a lot of these movies I've only seen once, so it's been a while. I think this came out in April, so it's like been a little more than 8 months. But I was really, really high on this movie for a lot of the year, and I gotta get to rewatching this and get a Blu-ray for it. But I remember at the time I saw it, it blew me away. It was a really cool fucking film, and I look forward to watching it again. At number 18 is one of the only two movies on this list I've seen twice, and in this case, both times in the theaters for different reasons. Sean Levy's Deadpool and Wolverine. I think this is better than the previous Deadpool film, which I did like. I think the first Deadpool film is still the best. I rate all three of them basically the same, though, at like 4 out of 5. Though maybe Deadpool 2, 3.5 out of 5. Look, I like this one. I liked how it played with the multiverse. I thought I'd love to see Hugh Jackman in the yellow and blue costume. There were some good jokes, good cameos, and it held up the second time I saw it. It didn't go up higher or lower for me. I stuck it in the same place it's been. But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 17 is Maxine, the end of the X trilogy. Look, I agree, it's the weakest of the three. I go Pearl, X, Maxine, but I fucking dug Maxine. I like her. I like what Mia Goth does. I liked Giancarlo Esposito playing her agent. I liked Kevin Bacon's performance. I know it was predictable, but I dug the Giallo vibes. I like a good Giallo film. They're very, and I think having seen a number of Giallo films, I've really embraced the. I'm really prepared for films that are very style over substance with kind of lackluster investigation parts to it. Not that the people who played the cops were bad in this. It's just a lot of Giallo films. The investigation is almost like it's a second thought. I really fucking enjoyed Maxine. I got it on Blu-ray. I look forward to rewatching it. And number 16 is Luca Guadagnino's Challengers, a movie that I didn't go out and see in theaters like my previous film, Maxine or Deadpool or Rain. I saw the trailer. I said, I can wait for it to hit streaming. So I did. I got it on a Amazon VOD rental, even though it's streaming now on Prime. I dug it. It was cool. It was 3 really good performances. I like how it built and built and built. I liked the friendship rivalry between our two leads, Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor. I thought this actually had a really cool ending and a really cool score. I don't really buy too many scores and listen to scores, but I thought the music was great. Overall, a damn fine film. At number 15 is Immaculate, directed by Michael Mohan, starring and produced by Sydney Sweeney. This is actually the first, maybe not the first Sydney Sweeney movie I've seen. I know she was a child actress, but this is the first Sydney Sweeney movie I've seen where I knew who she was. The story goes that she had auditioned for this movie when it was first getting ramped up, but that production fell apart. So she went to writer Andrew Lobel, I believe is his name, and put it together herself as producer. This comes in at a lean 89 minutes. A nun comes to the Italian countryside, and yes, unspeakable horrors, as this says on the bottom of this letterboxing, and immaculate conception. What's going on with the baby? What's going on with the baby? I saw it when it came out in theaters. I love it. I got it on Blu-ray, and I plan to double feature it with a movie that I'm going to be talking about coming up. You can probably guess which movie I'm talking about. But yeah, I really fucking dug Immaculate. Next up is Lisa Frankenstein, the only other movie on this list that I've actually seen twice. I saw it in theaters when it came out, and a few months ago, I rewatched it on Peacock just to see if because I had been going back and forth on my number score, which is still 4 out of 5, but I was wondering if I was leaning to 4.5. Not quite. Still really dug this movie. It was Zelda Williams directorial debut. Diablo Cody, I believe, wrote it. It is a really cool film with an excellent Catherine Newton, who's fun in everything I've seen, whether it's Supernatural or that Freaky movie. And Cole Sprouse is in it. I like the one who plays her stepsister, Liza Soberano. Really fucking good. I liked the sisterly relationship growing in the film. I don't know what critics were bitching about. The Letterboxd score is pretty good, 3.5 out of 5. Also, interesting, it's not streaming on Peacock again. Whatever. But yes, Lisa Frankenstein, damn fine film. Seen it twice. I wonder if I got this one on Blu-ray. I'm gonna have to buy this one on Blu-ray. Yeah, thumbs up. Beetlejuice from director Tim Burton with, of course, Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Jenny Ortega, as well as Justin Theroux, William Dafoe, Monica Bellucci, all coming along for the ride. I know this one's been a very mixed and divisive. I know people who don't like it. I know people who just think it's okay. And while I do have this rated as 4.5, I think I downgraded it to a 4. I like this movie. I do. I liked it a little bit more when I saw it. It was just so good to see, because Beetlejuice is my all-time favorite movie. I saw Beetlejuice when it came out. I've seen Beetlejuice several times, hundreds of times. D had it on VHS, had it on DVD, have it on Blu-ray. So I was really hyped to see this movie, and I appreciate it a lot, especially listening to the podcast Best Movies Never Made, where they went through all the unmade Beetlejuice sequels and this one's definitely far beyond the best version of a sequel we could have got. So yeah, Beetlejuice. And the second half of my double feature with Immaculate is The First Omen. I gotta be honest with you, I saw Immaculate, I'm like, this is cool. I don't know what they're going to do with The First Omen. Especially because I'm not even that big a fan of the original Omen movie. I actually rewatched it before I saw this film. And I only saw this film because the early word was really, really good. And I fucking loved it. It blew me away. I was very, very surprised at the fact that I liked this more than Immaculate. Especially because it's longer by like 30 minutes. It is also... I don't think the ending is as good as Immaculate, but I was on board through the whole thing. Visual, the performance by actress Nell Tiger-Free, and just the build. And I understand they were pulling a lot from the horror film Possession with what she was doing, but I had a great time with this film, directed by Arkaja Stevenson. I've never seen any of her other work, but I am looking forward to whatever she directs next. So yeah, I got this one on Blu-ray, and I plan on making a day of watching both of them. And who knows, maybe after watching both of them, I'll switch them in my mind, which one's better. But right now, it's Immaculate and The First Omen. But yeah, really like this one. And number 11 on my list is Nosferatu. 4.5 out of 5. That's where we are right now on my list. This was cool. I like Robert Eggers. I need to go back and rewatch The Witch. I've only seen it once. I need to rewatch The Lighthouse. I liked it. I didn't love it. But I really fucking love The Northman. It's my favorite movie of his. I've seen that one several times, and I really dug Nosferatu. It is just a visual feast for the eyes. It is an absolutely beautiful movie with a number of fantastic performances. Of course, Lily Depp Rose, William Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult is great in it. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I mean, I'm just throwing out names, I know. But just the dark look of it. It's like almost black and white the way that some of it's laid out, especially the stuff where Nicholas Holt's character, I forget his name, Thomas, is going to the castle, and just the sights, the Romani stuff. Orlok has such that voice, the booming voice, the shadow work. This is a damn fine film. I've seen all the Nosferatu movies. This one's my favorite. I'm not a big silent film guy. I've seen several. I think the original Nosferatu was pretty cool when I saw it. I thought Werner Herzog's looked cool, but I wasn't really into it. But yeah, so this is my favorite of the three, and I dug it. I love it. It was cool. I'm glad I got to see it in a packed crowd. My number 10 film is the Netflix original It's What's Inside from director Greg Jardin. This body-swapping sci-fi thriller is... it's a fucking good time. It's about a reunion of friends before one of them gets married. One brings a machine that does body swapping, and shenanigans runs afoot. It's a fantastic ensemble cast. A lot of these young actors I had never seen in anything before, but I liked every single one of them. I think the style of the film is great. This some of the rooms in the house that they're hanging out with, it's just I think that not enough films do really good art direction, it feels like, anymore. There's the use of colors in this, the staging. This is a damn fine film. I wish more people talked about it. It kind of came in October. People were talking about it for like a week and then disappeared, which is unfortunate. But it's What's Inside. Fantastic film. 4.5 out of 5. My number 9 film is Coralie Fargett's The Substance. You might have heard Demi Moore won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical, in this case, a body horror movie. And while she's not my number one choice to go and win all the awards, if she does, cool, because Demi Moore is great in this, as is Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid. Look, do I need to explain this film for you? It's about a fading celebrity who gets the substance and creates a younger, better version of herself, as they say. This movie was fucking cool. Something about the way it's stylized and edited, a lot of it made me think of like MTV 90s music videos, and it's cool with me. I fucking loved it. For an almost 2.5 hour movie, this film did not feel like it slowed down. It was great from start to end. Absolutely fantastic. 4.5 out of 5. My number 8 film is another Netflix film that seemingly came and went, and not enough people talked about it after the first week or two, and that is Azizel Jacobs' His Three Daughters, headlined by Carrie Coon, Natasha Lyonne, and Caitlin Olsen as 3 sisters who reunite at their father's apartment as he's in his final days. The film also stars J.O. Sanders and Jovan Adepo, and it is an absolutely fantastic dramatic film that choked me up here and there. Obviously, as a family drama with 3 sisters, there's bickering, yelling, coming together, and all the women are great in this. All the performances are good, including Jovan Adepo, who only has a few scenes, but his big scene knocks out of the park, possibly even steals the film. It's on Netflix. Go see it. Really, just go watch it. Next film up is Am I Okay?, directed by Tig Notaro and Stephanie Allien. This film is headlined by Dakota Johnson, who plays a woman in her 30s who comes out as lesbian later in life. She's now kind of coming to grips with it. And her friend, played by Sonoya Mizuna, is trying to push her to go out and really get into the lesbian dating scene. It's really about their friendship. But they both have other things going on. Dakota's got a crush on a girl at her job. Sonoya's got a promotion at her job. And now this was a breezy film. It's only 86 minutes, and I just had a good time watching. I really liked it. I really dug it. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. It's on Max. I highly recommend it. I find it interesting, though. I think there was distribution problems or something, so the movie was made in 2022, but it only came out this year. But go out and see it. Number 6 is Abigail, vampire ballerina movie. Fantastic cast: Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Catherine Newton, our little vampire girl, Alicia Weir. It does take a little while to get started, but the characters are fun to watch. I like the blood. I like the humor. I dug it. I mean, I don't know. It's from Radio Silence. I haven't seen everything from Radio Silence. I didn't see. I guess they did one of the VHS bits, but I love Ready or Not. I love the last Scream movie. I like the Scream movie for that a lot. So, as far as for me, 4 out of 4 films. 4 out of 4. You guys are nailing it. And this is a 4.5 out of 5. I got it on Blu-ray. I need to go watch it, but I have stacks and stacks of Blu-ray. Are you a physical media collector if you don't have a stacks of movies you've just been neglecting for some reason or another? That's me. But yes, Abigail, 4.5 out of 5. Number 5 on my list is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, the prequel to Fury Road. Fury Road's a perfect movie. Absolutely love that film. This one's not as good, but it's still a damn fine watch. And Chris Hemsworth needs to play more villains. He's great in this as Dementus. He's also really good as the bad guy in Bad Times at the El Royale. If you haven't seen that one, it's a fantastic film right there. And I liked how this one's broken up, how they spent that much time with the young actress who plays young Furiosa, Aliyah Brown. She's excellent in her part, as is, of course, Anya Taylor-Joy. 3 for 3 for actresses playing Furiosa. I like the action set pieces, especially like the Bullet Farm stuff is really cool. And I like how it builds and builds, and I really do enjoy the final showdown between our 2 leads. It is an absolutely fantastic movie. It's another movie that I think I got it on Blu-ray recently that I got to sit down and rewatch. But yeah, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is number 5 on this list. Number 4 on my list is Longlegs from writer-director Osgood Perkins, headlined by Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, along with Blair Underwood and Alicia Witt. What can I say? The campaign got me to go see this one. I had seen 2 films by Osgood Perkins, The Black Coat's Daughter, which I didn't really vibe with. I know I'm in the minority. Some people really like that one. I thought Gretel and Hansel was pretty good. Not a favorite, but I liked the visual style. I liked the idea. But I was buzzing after Longlegs. What can I say? It was cool. I think Micah Monroe is fantastic in it. Though I think her best performance is a movie called Watcher that came a few years ago, but she's excellent here. Nick Cage is always fun to watch. Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt doing great work. It's unsettling at times. The locations, there's just this mood throughout, this dread. It's not the scariest movie I ever saw, but it is definitely one of the most engaging movies I've ever seen, especially for this year. So 5 out of 5. My number 3 film is The Last Stop in Yuma County, directed by Francis Galuppi, who this film came on my radar because of his upcoming involvement with The Evil Dead. He's supposed to be doing one of the sequels. And this is a movie that's set in a diner next to a gas station that's out of gas. So there are people waiting for gas, including a couple of bank robbers who are on the run. And the tension keeps building, keeps ramping. And when it explodes, I was very surprised by the direction it took and the twists and turns that happened. This was a fantastic watch. I think this was the first movie of the year I gave 5 stars to, and it's been up there the whole time. I got it on Blu-ray. I need to rewatch it. It's a number of actors in it. Some I had seen in things before, some I hadn't. Jim Cummings I've seen in a couple of things. He's pretty good. I thought Jocelyn Donahue was great. I want to see her in more stuff headlining. But yes, The Last Stop in Yuma County, fantastic. 5 out of 5. Check it out. Number 2 is Anora from writer-director Sean Baker, my first Sean Baker movie, and absolutely fucking blew me away. I loved Mikey Madison in this. I really liked her in Scream, so when I heard about this, I'm like, oh, I liked her in Scream, and then I heard that performance is what Sean Baker reached out to her because of that performance, and I'm like, oh, the man has taste, right? And this lived up to the hype for me. It was a fantastic film. The romance part, and then everything else that happened. And this is another film I was not prepared for the direction it took, but it was high octane energy from her, and she's surrounded by such a brilliant cast. Obviously, a lot of people talking about Yuri Borisov in it as a supporting role, who is definitely a breakout. This movie is fucking incredible. I need this on Blu-ray. I kind of wanted to go see it again in theaters. But yes, Anora, number 2 on my list. 5 out of 5. Number 1 movie is The Wild Robot. I only watched this movie several days ago, but wow, it had me choking up a few times. A robot gets stranded on an island and has to raise a gooseling, a goose, I don't know what you call a little goose. Makes a friend with a fox, and then there's beavers and possums, and just, trying to get the goose to swim, fly, and migrate, and the relationship that grows around this robot, voiced by Lupita Nyong'o, and it has Pedro Pascal. Connor, look, I am very surprised at how much I like this movie. I was like, Anora's gonna end up being my favorite movie of the year, but no, this one came in at the last minute, and boom, I really wish I would have saw this in theaters. I really do. This was a fantastic fucking film. I got to get this one on Blu-ray, but The Wild Robot is my number 1 movie of 2024. And that is it. That is my top 30 films of 2024. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about it. Have a good one.